welcome to the video. And today we're going to be talking about a movement guide, and not just a movement guide, but a basic movement guide and an advanced movement guide for all types of players. Because if you want to have really great movement like shown in this clip right here and people can't actually hit you, you're going to need to do a little bit of practice, and as well as do a couple different strafing methods. So as you can see here in this clip, I'm strafing back and forth, crouch strafing, and this guy can't hit me. I probably could have killed him, 20 to 30 times over. He really never had a chance to kill me. It was biased, obviously, because I had gold armor and everything, but he was never going to hit a shot, and my movement stopped him from hitting literally everything. So that just goes to show you how much movement can really affect a gunfight, because think about how much time I just created for myself right there, rather than just standing still or moving in a predictable pattern, because he would have easily killed me if I was just standing still. But that just goes to show that movement can literally take a fight that is possibly losable, or a fight that you're going to lose, and turn it into a fight that is easily won. So we're going to start off with the basic tips, and then we're going to go more in depth with the advanced tips. So if you're more of an advanced player, I would just skip to about halfway through the video, because right now I'm just going to be talking about the very, very basics that some of the entry-level players might not be doing. So first tip I have for great movement is, obviously, this is just general movement of going around the map. As you can see right here, this is sliding and jumping. You sprint, you slide, you jump, and this will get you around the map significantly faster. If you were to race a teammate that was just running straight and you were slide jumping, you would always beat them. So if you guys are not already slide jumping, this is a pretty basic movement tip. I feel like most people do this to get around the map, but if you're not already doing it, I would definitely start, because this is something that all players do. It's definitely the fastest way of getting around the map without being Pathfinder, obviously, but definitely if you're not already doing it, you should start. So next I want to talk about actually strafing in fights, because this is a little bit different than actually, I don't even know this, but this is a little bit different than than just general movement. And strafing in fights is basically moving back and forth while you're fighting. Pretty self-explanatory. So as you can see, there's a couple different types of actually strafing. There's the wide strafe, and there's the close range strafe, which is very, very quick back and forth. And then there's the crouch strafe. So first we're going to start talking about the wide strafe. As you can see right here, it's situational. So each one of these strafe techniques are all situational. But the wide strafe is just one of the techniques you guys could use. I wouldn't go like this. This is not a really good way of strafing, because then people are just going to line up their shots, and it would be the same as if you were standing still. So you don't want to just strafe in one direction. Instead, you want to actually, go back, make it kind of unpredictable. Move like that, very, very sporadic, so they can't exactly predict your next move. But personally, since I use Wraith, I actually like to do the short strafe technique, just because I'm able to move back and forth very, very quickly, and since your hitbox is so small, people usually can't actually hit me. So I do think that this is the best strafe technique, going back and forth very, very quickly. And a lot of times I will actually, I'll show you guys right here. A lot of times if I'm reloading, if I'm fighting someone, I will throw the crouch in while I'm reloading, and then as you can see right there, only really crouch spam when you're reloading or any downtime you have, because it will significantly mess up your aim. So you only want to do it in the downtime, unless you have it like mastered. I'd say only try crouch spamming when you're actually reloading. Hit them with the crouch spam, get back up. So one thing you want to make sure you don't do is just go overboard with the actual strafing. Like I said before, I advised against doing that, but it actually is the steadiest for your aim. So if you're just going to hit a significant amount of your shots, you can strafe like that. Any strafing is better than just standing still or walking towards them. You want to strafe back and forth usually, and I think personally the best way to do it would be short strafes, because that way, even as you can see here, if you're doing short strafes, the red dot, the reticle, never actually leaves their body. So whereas, you know, and they could just aim center of mass and say, aim in the middle, and you're just going to run into it a lot. But a lot of times players are going to overcompensate for the strafe and mess up, as you can see in that clip I showed. So I'm actually going to show a couple clips at the end just for fun, just because, you know, I just have a couple clips laying around for me doing some decent strafes on people. I do it all the time, so I wouldn't be able to just, you know, any given clip probably has me strafing in it, but these ones kind of highlight how good it actually can be. But basically, in terms of strafing, my favorite techniques are strafing back and forth very, very quickly. Also, you know, you can do the wide strafe, just make sure you're not moving very, very predictably. And you can also do the crouch spam. Crouch spam might mess up your aim though. Just be aware of that. So if you don't have like amazing aim, I wouldn't even try the crouch spam because it's just going to mess you up. But I think you should always crouch spam when you're reloading. That is the best tip I can give for you guys. Always crouch spam whenever you reload, because that is all time that you don't want to be getting hit. So while you're reloading, you're completely vulnerable. So at that time, you want to be making yourself as hard to hit as possible. And then once you're done reloading, you know, pop back up. As you can see here, it's like almost like second nature to me. You can even look, I know a lot of players, they'll like kind of throw a little like actual camera look into it. And I don't even know, that does change the way your character looks, and it does make it a little bit harder. But overall, that's not anything too crazy. And I want to show you guys, you know, wall jumping real quick. I don't even think it's exactly, like, it's so situational that you almost don't even need to know it. So as you can see right here, you know, wall jumping is very, very situational, and it's almost like rarely needed. This is not something like you're gonna need to know. Honestly, it's something that even like the highest tier player doesn't even use that often, just because it's not something that, you know, is exactly necessary in gunfights. And I mean, when are you gonna find the time to need to do this? Like, the only time you do that is when you're trying to style on someone, and it's just not even. You don't need to really know how to wall jump, but in case you want to, it's all about the angle you come at the wall. You're going to want to come at it like this, slide, jump, and that's not a great example. This is a very weird area to do it in. I don't really have a whole lot of space, but you want to come in from an angle and just tap the jump button, slide, jump, tap the jump button, and you'll be able to do it. It's, like I said, it's not something you need to like master. Because it's just so unnecessary 99% of the time. But if you're really, really into movement, you can try it. There's also another technique of like wall running. I don't actually know how to do that. That might just be like a PC thing, because I saw some PC dudes doing it. But yeah, basically to wall jump, you run at the wall at an angle like this, and then do a 360 while spamming the X button. As you can see, turn your camera and you will be able to do it. But like I said, you're probably not going to need to know how to do that. So basically the main strafing techniques are the wide strafe, which is, you know, doing it like that. Try not to be too predictable, especially if you're moving in a straight line, you know, move backwards maybe. And then the small strafe, the very, very short one. This is something you should really be doing if you're closer to them. Long distance, if you're just doing this, people are just going to aim right at your chest, and they're probably going to hit you. So long distances, you want to do the long strafe, the wide strafe. Short distances, you want to do the short strafe, because it's going to mess them up more. And then while you're reloading, throw a crouch in there. You can do it while you're aiming, but like I said, could mess up your aim, so just be careful. So this is probably going to be the last tip, and it is just a bonus tip. This applies if you're getting shot at, and you're trying to run away. You just want to kind of zigzag. Make yourself as hard as you can to hit, because right now it'd be like impossible to hit. And you could even jump while going up a mountain. That'll make it very, very easy for you to get up there quickly without being shot, since your body's going to be jumping all over the place. But basically, if you're running away, just zigzag. Try to make yourself as hard as you can to hit before you can get behind cover. I'll be putting a clip of myself actually doing it in game right at the end of the video, and that will be accompanied with the other clips that I wanted to show you guys. But that's pretty much it for today's video, so thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.
Another enemy down. You're in aim with the enemy. Took out a lot this time. Killed an enemy.